Hey, this is Matteo Lane.
I'm Emma Willman.
And this is Inside the Closet.
Inside the Closet. You want to do the intro?
Hey guys, Matteo Lane and Emma Willman here for another episode of Inside the Closet. Today we talk about a lot. Our travel woes, the Cheesecake Factory, and an article that was written about me in Attitude Magazine, and Emma throwing up in the back of an Uber. So
Twice. I did it 2 times.
But she cleaned it up.
I didn't even get any on the Uber. I'm a champ.
So enjoy the show.
Here we are.
But we're here together in my apartment. This is how much, after the day we've been through, this is it.
Yeah.
We really are dedicated to this podcast.
Mateo and I both had really bad days.
Really bad days. Pretty,
I had a bad couple of days, but then today was the most overwhelming because it was just like coming back to New York, and then since I'm leaving again, so it was just like...
This will be inside the sad closet.
Yeah, inside the closet on fire.
It's on fire. I think it's so funny because, like, even when I woke up this morning, I was like, just, you know, the days you wake up, you're like, bad. Like, It's almost as if someone, like, wakes you up, like, psst, today's gonna be bad.
Right.
Like, who are you?
Right.
You know?
I didn't feel that good. I felt good because I slept last night, but I had taken a red eye the night before. And the flying too much in the red eye, and then there was this Sunday
fucks up my stomach.
Fucks me up, and I was when I was depressed on Sunday. I haven't done this in so long. I ate like 2 candy bars and a bunch of candy just because I wanted to like feel energized. And then I felt like, do you ever get a sugar hangover?
Yeah, oh my god, I had one in Vegas last week. Yeah,
it's not a good feeling.
No, because there's like nothing you can do to like clean it, like to clear that up.
Yep, I was like, I felt like a dump truck.
And flying makes you feel, well, this can't just be us complaining the entire time.
It used to not be a problem. It used to be, but now I'm like, look, I'm in my 30s. I got sciatica. I got back problems.
What's sciatica?
It's like a pinched nerve in my back.
You have a pinched nerve in your back?
Yeah, so that's why I go to the chiropractor all the time.
Oh, I just thought you were going to the chiropractor just because.
It hurts, and then when I don't go, I get like all irritated and pissy about it.
You look in shape.
Thanks.
You do.
When I went to the chiropractor today, I was so depressed when I was in there. I went, you're the only thing I look forward to anymore.
And he said, I'm going to give you the number to a therapist. You
know what he said?
What?
He actually said, oh, that's good to hear. What? And I was like... Maybe he wasn't listening.
No, that's him in a busy day hearing you say, I can't wait to be here. Oh, that's great.
That's like what it was.
But like didn't hear really what you were saying.
Right. He was like, I love it. Good to hear that. And I was like...
Yeah, my life's doing great when I'm here getting my back ripped out of me.
I've been looking forward to this.
Well, how long does it take to get your back cracked? I keep talking.
It's the best feeling.
It's been impossible for anyone to be able to crack my back.
Really?
Uh-huh.
If people that listen to this, I'm curious if anyone else has this suspicion. I wonder if the chiropractor is kind of a hoax, though.
Well, that's what everyone says. Because they're a hoax.
My back doesn't ever get any better.
Well, isn't it like cracking your knuckles?
And then you need to do it all the time?
Maybe, or maybe it's like a thought. Maybe there is something good to it, but first of all,
it feels good, but
no
then
idea what I'm talking about.
It feels good, but then now when I don't do it, it feels really bad. So it's like I'm hooked on it.
Yeah, so it's like maybe it's like eating sugar.
You hear people say they think it's a joke.
Oh, I've heard people say not a joke, but I think people say like it's not
a scam. Fucking
maybe not a scam.
I've heard that before, but
we should have Chris DiStefano on because he used to do all that.
He did back adjustments?
Yeah, he was like a physical therapist. When I had my ear fucked up, he knew it right away. He was like, oh, it's this in your ear and your sinuses probably flooded into it and it's swollen. And because if it was this other thing, like the crystal that would be in line and I would have to do like this whole testing on you, I was like...
The crystal?
What? I was like, what are you talking about? It always blows my mind when like
comedians have knowledge of other things. You're like, you have a brain in there?
Well, yesterday I was talking to Ryan Hamilton. He knows everything about Delta and flying.
And he's got a great special on Netflix. He's super funny.
Oh, he's one of the funniest people on the face of the planet. So, yeah, it just has been a weird...
What did he say?
Day.
Did he have any flying travel tips?
Well, he's diamond status on Delta. I'm platinum. And he was saying, like, how it's really difficult to get diamond status and, like, how to get upgrades. And they send you upgrades, but you have to call and you have to ask and certain things. Like, and he understood, like, the point system. And I was like... Because I understand it pretty well, but, like, he knew... It was almost like I was talking to a Delta employee.
That's what... But
he flies all the time.
Right.
So that makes sense that he would know. I just want to get to the point where I'm like flying. I kept saying I want to fly first class forever because I've done it once now. And then he was like, well, if you fly in a private jet. And I was like, well, that thought never even occurred to me. A private jet. He's open for Seinfeld, so like that's like
having a private jet would be. And also, us complaining is like, it's part of the therapy. It's part of therapy, but it's we're both like grateful for our lives too. I feel that's important to say. You know what I mean?
We are grateful. There's nothing, just because. Look, the Queen of England, I'm sure, complains.
Yeah,
she has to dress up like an Easter egg every time she leaves the house.
She must complain. She drinks like 5 gin and tonics a day or something.
No,
yeah,
she
I read that.
Drink.
Yes, she does. She has like a certain amount of cocktails she has every day.
Pip, pip, hello! Yeah. I would love another gin and tonic. Ma'am, Queen, ma'am.
She's hammered.
Maybe that's why her life seems so great.
Right, she's just totally sauced up.
I mean, maybe that's why all her outfits are the same bright primary color.
Oh my god!
Or like pastel color because like she's so drunk she can't figure out what to wear. So just the shoes are yellow, the hat is yellow, the dress is yellow. It's all yellow.
She knows where to like reach for the clothes. She's just like stumbling around trying to grab
this
stuff.
Looks good. Yellow. You know, she can't mismatch anything.
I had an experience at my show in Portland for the first time. This has never happened to me. Someone walked out of the show.
What could you have possibly said?
It was so weird because also this wasn't a comedy club. Everyone at the show, and I love Portland, Oregon. Everyone at the show came to see me because it was like not a comedy club show. It was just like Emma Willman at this place.
That's great.
So everyone was there. Which if it was a comedy club and the guy got upset, I'd be like, okay, you were expecting to see like Andrew Dice Clay, and I'm not like that, so you don't like it.
Right.
But he came to see me, so I don't know what he was expecting.
Do you think he just had to go somewhere? He wasn't.
No, he yelled.
What?
So it was pretty like early into the show. It was probably like 5 or 6 minutes in. He goes, and I have a joke about my reaction to someone asking if my uncle is legally special needs. So I'm not making fun of my uncle. I'm making fun of someone asking me if they're legally special needs and then make fun of the person asking that. And I've thought about this joke a lot because I want to make sure that it's like not, and I've like run it by people.
Right, I understand, yeah.
So I do the joke and the guy gets up and he goes, it was a definitely straight white guy, and he goes, ah! He's like, you've been talking about your special needs uncle for 5 minutes. And I was like, just get the fuck out of here.
You
like,
said that to
him? Because it was like
Emma, you've been hanging out with me for a while.
And also it's like, pick your battles here, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, what I wanted to say to him was, actually, I've just been talking about it for about 75 seconds because I've done this joke enough times and I know exactly.
I would have said that.
Second, how I thought about it afterwards. I was like, I had done about 75 seconds worth of material on that, and I've written new jokes about it. So I was like, in total, I have 4.5 minutes on my special needs uncle. I'm only 1/3 of the way through, buddy. So your time's off.
Right.
But he kind of like did his arms at me. He went like, you've been talking about it for 5 minutes. And then I was just like, get the hell out, get the fuck out of here. And then I was like, I hate that guy. I just hate, it was such
Did everyone clap when he left?
Yeah, people didn't like him. Because also it's like, just leave. Leave the show. Don't yell at the performer. And that's such a, come talk to me. I mean, don't come talk to me afterwards, but in theory, come talk to me afterwards or contact the club. Anything but the audacity to stand up and interrupt. And they weren't serving drinks in there. It was 7 o'clock. People weren't drunk. I mean, or if they were, everyone was well behaved. So it must have been like 7:25.
You know what it is? That this guy, because this is me today, there's so much else in this guy's mind.
That's what I was thinking.
It wasn't you.
Totally.
It's something that had nothing to do with you.
Triggered
him,
yep.
And he needed, as a catharsis, he needed to get that out, which is fine, but don't ruin the show.
So it's such a ballsy thing to just, it's like if I didn't have anything prepared, I couldn't imagine standing up and yelling in front of a group of people. And I'm a professional public speaker.
Yeller.
So it's like, I'm like, how do you just go rogue and do that? That's crazy to me.
I think people just, I don't know. I mean, it just depends on sometimes it even depends on the city you're in.
And I didn't say the R word. I said my special needs uncle. Yeah. It was so, and also I'm pretty friendly. So as far as comedy shows go, what are you thinking is going to happen.
It's like there's certain rooms. Like I remember telling the story about how I get called a faggot, and these kids in Brooklyn were furious about that. They were like mad that I used that word, and I was like, oh, but we're just
really,
yeah, but they're just mad at the word. They're not mad at like I.
And they were mad at you.
Well, I don't think they know whether to direct their anger. I think we're taught that certain things are not supposed to be talked about.
Right, and then you don't listen. They don't listen
so
to
they're not listening. Yeah. You're just hearing words, and when you hear those words, you see red. You can't I was listening to. I love Patrice O'Neal, so I was listening to some old Opie and Anthony. And
if he was around today,
oh my god! But there's some things that they were said. Like there's a lot that there was being said from people.
And if you've never heard of Patrice, he's a comic who passed away 8 years ago.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
And he was like, how would you describe his comedy?
Just incredibly honest, and I would say controversial, and funny.
He's funny.
But I thought about it in this sense. I thought, you know what? I'm going to say something. Everyone's going to say something that pisses people off, and at some point you have to decipher. Like, okay. For example, Twitter, for example, if you say anything wrong, you're done, you're canceled, etc. But it's like you want to say to these people, look at people in your life, family, friends, coworkers. There is something that everybody says around us that we disagree with.
Oh, sure.
Everyone says, but you find a way to make it work. I mean, that's just life. Leaving your apartment, like Franley Wood said, you'll be offended because you didn't pick the things that you wanted in your life. You know, you're dealt with other people's lives, opinions, and baggage and stuff.
And people can improve without you silencing them. Like, there was this guy I remember in Boston, and he actually really helped me out, but he also said some problematic stuff. And then as I moved along farther, I said something to him. This is what he said to me. I remember we were backstage, and he goes, you know what I like about you? You're gay, but you're not, like, gay.
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
And then he goes, you know what I like about blah, blah, blah? He's black, but he's not black. And I went, and he was like, what? And I was like, you just say that you like us. You don't need to, because there's nothing wrong with being gay or a person of color. Yeah. There's two things to be celebrated, if anything. And he's like, I know, but I'm saying you guys don't put it down my throat. And I was like, but, okay. And then I didn't say much more to him then. And then like a year later, I was like, but you were kind of putting it down our throat by you saying that. And then he was like, yeah, okay, I see what I'm saying.
I was on...
And then he was fine, and then he kind of changed. I don't know if he changed, but he, listened, and then he also did a lot of nice things for me.
I was on Ron Bennington, and one of the producers on the show goes to me, I was like, oh, why, you have a problem with being gay? And he goes, I don't have a problem with you being gay, just whatever you want to do in the privacy of your own home is fine by me.
Who said this?
And then this guy on Ron Bennington's show. And then I just stopped him right there, and I was like, I don't like that answer.
I totally agree.
I was like, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I'm not doing anything wrong, so I don't. So what are you even talking about?
The privacy of my own home.
Yeah,
no. It's very problematic to be like, as long as you don't live your life in front of me. It's like, well, no, fuck you. That's not an okay answer. And then people were calling me like, I'll think. This is one guy from West Virginia.
You said that on air to him?
Yeah.
Good for you.
This one guy from West Virginia, who I loved his accent. He was like, he's not trying to say he has any problem with gays. We're just saying, if there's something you want to do in the privacy of your own home, just do it in your own home. And I'm like, no, that is the problem. What do you? That's like the same thing of telling someone, a person of color, just be that, like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like, or like in your own home. Like, what? Like, if I'm just gay, I'm gay all the time.
Also, it's like if you have a problem with someone doing something, like, don't say that you don't mind if they're in their own home. Like, there are things someone could do in their own home where I'm like, I don't understand that, where it's like, oh, if it's in their own home, it's none of my business. And it's like, what if someone's hurting someone? Then yes, it is. But then you know what I mean?
True. Like when you're beating the shit out of your like husband or wife in your home.
Well, if you do it indoors.
If you do it in your home.
Right.
It's just a way of them saying, like, I don't know how to deal with this, and but like I'm okay. It's like a weird PC answer.
It's such a weird thing to say.
God, we're just so.
How did the guy respond?
I said, sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you. I know you don't hate gay people or whatever. And he goes, no, it was amicable, you know what I mean? But it was, good for me to say, like.
It's good for you. It's almost like saying to him, it's like, you know what, and this would even be nicer. It's being like, I don't mind if you do entertainment, but do it in your own home. Don't do it out. Don't do it out here.
Well, what you're saying is, like, when you're not in your own home, act so I'm comfortable.
Right.
And it's like, well, if I want to hug my boyfriend and kiss my boyfriend in public, I don't need your approval.
Right.
I don't need to be in my own home. I'll do it wherever the fuck I want to because there's nothing wrong with that. Saying to do anything outside of your own home in front of you is implying that there's a problem with it.
Yeah, and it's also like, well, how about the only place I don't be myself is I don't go to your home because me and you don't need to spend time together. Anywhere else, that's our shared space. I do what I want, you do what you want. How about you keep it to your home?
I think I've gotten zero. I'm at this point now where I have zero tolerance for people saying homophobic shit to me.
Yeah,
just zero tolerance. I mean, people say when they say stupid things, I will say to them, "There's that." Yes, I find that to be problematic, and not in like a bad way, but like there's comics all the time who say exactly what you said to me. I like you because you're not a gay comic, and I said I am. I said, I'm a gay man. I said, and you know what? Like, if you're looking at my material based off what's gay and what's straight, like, that's your problem. I'm just going to talk about my life. So you fuck you.
Right. Do you feel more comfortable doing that since you've gotten, like, so strong? Because now, like, literally, what's someone get... Like, you're not in physical danger. Unless the person was fucking huge.
A comedian yesterday who I think used to intimidate me, who now I just don't care about because I have my own sort of feet in the ground.
Right.
We were sitting at a comedy club, and he sat down and he goes, oh, man, I just had to follow so-and-so, and they made it real easy. Boy, do they suck. And I thought, you just... sat down here, told us someone else sucked, and told us how great you are. I'm not even engaging.
Right.
And before, maybe I would have uncomfortably laughed because I'm trying to seek that person's approval, and I literally didn't even look at him. I thought, I'm not even going to look your way.
Good for you.
Because it's like, how dare you sit down and that's the first thing out of your mouth.
Like, that's my roommate. Like, or that's my friend.
That was me.
Yeah. That was my stage persona.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, God.
I've been told many times about people have written things about me that aren't true.
Unfollowable.
Like, I do coke at Studio 54. I never did coke. It was always meth. But I always say...
Meth, man.
So, can I talk about this?
Yes, please.
So, all right, let me say this first.
Yeah, because also, when after you did this, I remember you talking about it on the show because you're really excited about it.
Yeah, Attitude Magazine, which is like one of the biggest European gay magazines, asked to do a featured article about me, and I was super excited. And the theme was like active people and whatever, like active gays. So they wanted to do a type of sports issue. So I work out, and they had me like fun workout clothes, and it was a really fun photo shoot.
Like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
2 months ago.
2 months ago.
And I had a really great time, and I was really excited. So when we were talking about the article, we had a big, long discussion with the writer about what, self-identity, how we feel about ourselves, how I feel about my body, working out, and what's helped me and what's hurt me. So I had a very honest conversation about my insecurities and the depression I've gone through. And I said, I based a lot of my life based off my looks, and I've been... and things too, when you make jokes, like I make the joke all the time. So when people say, why do you work out? The answer is because I like being healthy and I like looking good.
What kind of question is that too?
But why
don't you? I mean, I don't,
but my joke is I say, I'm trying to get fucked.
Right.
That's my joke, right?
Right.
They took that and wrote in the article.
No.
So the article title, by the way, I talked a lot about like my struggles with my body and how I looked and how I treated myself.
Wait, they included that joke in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I missed that part.
So the first part was me talking about like sort of where I was starting and the bad mental place I was in. And I talked about how working out didn't make me feel better, right? But what happened is comedy made me feel better. Following my dreams made me feel better.
Right.
And realizing that I'm not a body, I'm not my sexuality, that I'm more than these things, that I don't need to be identified by just kind of how society places
right.
something. So there was a really positive message
which is relatable too, because we all obviously are formed by how people see us, and then we're trying to counter that and be okay with ourselves. So.
And you know what I realized too, thinking like if I work out, this is going to be the answer to all my problems, and it wasn't.
Sure.
Right. I realize now working out is a mental thing for me, where I like going and I like feeling good, and I like it's a long road for me. And listen, I'm not saying. Everyone has their own issues with their bodies, no matter what you look like.
Right.
And I always talk about that. Like, if you're gay, in the gay community, if you're fat, it's not good. If you're muscular, it's not good. If you're too thin, it's not good. No matter what you look like, someone will find a problem with it. Right. Someone will assume who you are and make a problem with it. So it doesn't matter what people think. I might as well just look how I want to look.
Lesbians are so the reverse of that, because it's lesbians. It's like the subset where it's like whatever you are, they're like, all right. Oh, in a way where it's like maybe we should encourage each other to do a lap in the pool. You know, or something.
No, I think
working out is health, but exercise is I'm not great about it, but it's good for you.
Well, they posted the article today. I woke up to all these people
and you had been excited about it coming out.
Really excited. Yep. And so the title of the article was, what was it again? It was Attitude Magazine, comedian Matteo Lane, in quotations, I changed my body and I still feel like shit.
God.
And I read the article and they only kept... But they only kept the parts where I talked negative about myself.
Right.
And I read it and sank into such a deep depression today because all the comments on Twitter at me, first of all, the photo shoot I thought it was supposed to be like an athletic thing, right? So the photos are like of me thotty naked saying I hate my body. This is the worst thing that you could post.
Yeah, because then it looks like you're trying to get a compliment.
Exactly.
Right.
And then on top of that, they don't even go into the discussion of my painting, my drawing, my singing, my comedy, my writing, my open mics. They don't go into my nothing.
And you were saying the body stuff in the context of you had to learn to love yourself to then be okay with the other things.
So it just looks like I said, I hate myself, I hate who I am, and depressed. Never mentions anything about my comedy, my Netflix special, nothing. So... and then everyone was commenting like it's 174,000 followers. So they're all commenting horrible things at me, and that's how I woke up. I woke up to feeling deceived and betrayed by a group of gay men I felt were on my side. And you know what it is? It's a learning thing for me. I think from now on I'm just not going to do interviews. Because the interview we did, that girl took everything we took out of context and then pitted us against Hannah Gatsby, and it's like I like Hannah Gatsby, but
you've done interviews before where they didn't do that, right?
Yeah, but I think it's a bigger scope now.
Right, because any interview I've had, it's the minority of interviews where things get murky. Do you think, or it could also be like I'll do it, but I have to get final approval.
Well, I talked to my manager about that. And I think a lot of places don't like that, like final approval. I understand that.
I get that too.
And I don't think I texted the guy and he said I'm so sorry and this was not our intention and blah blah blah. And look, they're not the enemy.
Did they say you were joking when you said your joke? Did they go, Matteo jokingly said I do it to get fucked?
No.
So they just said it like you were serious?
Yes. They made me look like such a superficial, narcissistic piece of shit.
Why would... Yeah, that's one thing. It's like if someone's joking, do the decency of saying, like, they jokingly said, or give the context of it. So it's not like... It'd be like if I was like, it'd be like, say you got something really good, and I'd be like, oh man, like, I hate you. It'd be like, Matteo said he got this, and then Emma promptly let him know that she hated him. It's like, wow, that, and instead of being like, his friends lovingly said, like, fuck you.
I think it's a learning issue for me. Like, this is going to be something we're going to be doing a lot, and I just have to be super careful about what I say, and... no one really cares at the end of the day. No one gives a shit. No one knows who I am. No one cares.
Are you going to just take a break from Twitter, or what are you going to do?
No, I don't know. I feel bamboozled. I feel like they took advantage. It's just, what really sucks is there's such few queer people doing comedy in the grand scheme of things that any moment we get to shine, it sucks that our own community is using everything against us. Like,
right.
That feels very conspiratorial. Like, I'm not like Roseanne Barr on Joe Rogan. Where, like, did you hear that?
Roseanne was on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, every excuse under the book for those tweets. I was like,
what did she say?
It's a lot. I'm not making any excuses for this besides the fact that, like, there was a whole interview and they only printed...
They misquote. Right.
They did misquote me. I said those things. But it was too... I thought was building to an arc of like, hey, things will get better, and you can work on yourself. And,
right.
But
I guess it's like figuring out where it's like going into things where it's like I'm only gonna say things that I'm gonna do everything I can. Like, I remember there was a interview that I did, and then I sent it. Actually, this is a long time ago. I sent it to the Canadian that I was dating way back, and I sent it to her, and she worked with people that. Like, had to do a lot of interviews. So I was like, what do you think of this? And she was like, Emma, you're giving the person way too much information here. She was like, skim it down so they can only take, like what you need them to. And I was like, I didn't even know what she was talking about. And I was like, oh. And she's like you're giving them so much info that then they could chop that up. She's like, and everything is spelled horrifically. And I was like, well, that's where I was hoping you would come in. But it's I've never been able, when you're talking to someone, that's when that's impossible. Because like you're like, they're there to get info out of you. I'm sorry that happened.
It's all right. I cried.
That's good.
No, it's not.
Did you feel better after you cried?
No, I don't feel better. I don't feel good. I mean, I think it's just like, this is like, it's just, I'm just going to try and look at this as a learning lesson and hope that in the future I don't make the same mistakes. But it sucks when you think you're doing something that's going to be a good message for people to read, and then the message that you get is not just incriminating on who you
Especially
are,
when you
but
work
it's also
you've worked so hard.
But it's also like the people who, I don't know, follow me or know me, they're going to be like, oh, this guy's such a piece of shit. And it's like, well, I can't defend it because I'm not big enough. I don't have enough platform. It's fine. I mean, it's not worth getting into an argument with it. And I didn't tweet about it, and I didn't do anything. I just was like, oh my god. I just am like I just feel so stupid. I feel really bad. I'm not normally like a depressed person, but I'm like, it's one of these days I'm like, I can't even like. Yeah, I feel so weird.
Have you ever been on antidepressants?
No, because I'm not a depressed person.
I've been taking them for years. But the problem is, I always forget to take them. I've been taking Wellbutrin and Zoloft for years, but I forget to take it all the time, which is, like, not good.
You know, I'm just going to handle this the Mariah Carey way and, like, I guess not talk about it and just move on.
Yeah.
She gets so much shit thrown at her, and she just never talks about it.
Right. I put moisturizer in my eye.
Do you need a Kleenex or something?
I told my mom that I wanted to get Botox, and that did not go well.
Why?
Last week I was like, I've been thinking about it. I want to get Botox. And she was like, what? And I was like, I want to try it. I was thinking of trying to get Botox. I was like, I wouldn't care, but just because of, like, on-camera stuff, like, I feel like I should do it. I was like, I don't have a problem with aging. It is what it is. And also, I could give a fuck if someone, like, I could care less. I was like, but I've just been noticing it for myself. And she was like, but what? And I was like, so I'm thinking of getting Botox. And she was like, no. Why do you have a problem? Why do you have a problem with that? She's like, promise me you will not do that. Just promise me. And I was like, are you serious?
My sister heard you say that. And my sister said, oh, tell her to get a really good doctor, and I'll tell her where to get it done.
Really? So she's done it before?
Yeah, but just like very little bit.
You get very little bit. And also, like, I scrunch up my forehead all the time. So in the past year, I've noticed, like, I noticed it.
Do you think I need it?
Definitely not. See, you don't, I always am like scrunching my forehead. But my mom made me promise her. And I was like, I can't, I said, how about this? I promise you I won't do it until the next time I see you. And she was like, it's not healthy. It's weird. Like, you really have a problem with the fact that, you're evolving? And I was like, no, it's not that. And she was like, something's off. And I was like, I don't know why. I couldn't believe that she was that upset. And she was like, I can't believe it.
I don't know why other people are so threatened by other people wanting to, like, change their looks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what that is. She was,
I haven't heard her get that upset since she found out I was faking recycling. I haven't heard her get that upset since then. Then, because she was like, this is weird. You've put time and effort into faking this. Like, it's not healthy. That's how she was with this. And then because I did my hair platinum. So she was like, and how's your hair? And I was like, it's good. I really like it. And she's like, oh.
What does she want you to do? Not wear makeup, wear a potato sack?
I don't know what she's thinking, because at the same time...
You know what it is? I think your mother's afraid that you're gonna...
Go Hollywood? But, like, it's not like I'm gonna, like... I mean, but she was the one... If you're starting to listen now, I got teeth. Like, I got fake teeth. I got, what are they called?
Veneers?
Veneers from a discount dentist up in Harlem years ago, who let me pay him cash and go at weird hours.
I love it.
And you know what? I've been thinking about it. I need to go back. I need to go see that guy again.
No, go to another guy.
I have another dentist now, but I don't think he's as good.
I have a good dentist that I go to.
Really?
Yeah, he's on 12th Street.
Do you have dental insurance?
Oh, I should probably not keep that in. No, but,
Yeah.
I had to go last week.
Yeah, because maybe I need to, I got to do something. I'm grinding my teeth, a bunch.
Well, they can put things in that, so you're stressed out.
I grind my teeth, and I bought a mouth guard, and then I lost it, and then I bought another one, and I lost it, and I was like, fuck this, I'm not buying another one.
Do you think that you're just, well, we talked about this, your schedule's insane, and you're not allowing yourself to, rest.
But this is the other thing. I do definitely get rest. When I think about, my
rest
sister...
Rest is different than... Sleeping is different than rest.
And I also get plenty of sleep, but what I think it is there's so little consistency with it that it's okay, that it always just seems kind of displaced. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely understand that. I mean, I think consistency is a huge thing.
I know, because someone was like, well, why don't you try doing the same thing right when you wake up? And I was like, I do that. I reach for my phone. I go, shit, I thought I was charging it. This happens every morning. And then I go and I charge it. And then I check some emails and I go, oh. Or sometimes I'll try to wake up and be like, I'm grateful for this.
No, I think what they mean is, when I wake up, I open my shades, I drink a huge thing of water.
What if you're on the road?
I start making coffee. Wherever I go, I make sure that I keep it sort of the same. So it's right. I know when I wake up in the morning, I need to have coffee and water, relax. I wake up always a little earlier so that I can kind of sit and relax. When I'm here, I put on MSNBC. I watch Morning Joe. I sit and drink coffee. I make oatmeal. I make my eggs.
Whoa, such a little suburban mom or something.
But you know what? That kind of normal, I know what to look forward to. It helps me stay, regular.
Well, see, and what I've done that is where I've put that on my chiropractor. Each city I'm in, I'm finding one of those, and then I go, and, that's when I'm, it's me time.
Going to a chiropractor?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when I was in LA, I did cryotherapy a bunch.
Yeah, you told me about that. Where you stood in, a frozen...
Yep. Because it's supposed to be good for your back. So I did it, and then I became buddies with the guy.
Have you gone to an actual doctor about your back?
No, I did, and they say different stuff. They were like, you probably just have a pinched nerve. Well, this is to fix it, I have to build up my core muscles.
Well, then you should be focusing on doing core workouts.
I've done yoga in the past.
Yoga is not a core workout. The same as doing a deadlift.
What is that? Doesn't sound good.
Oh, there's different workouts you can do at the gym to focus on your core.
What's a deadlift?
It's too hard to describe.
Is it you kind of squat, you bend over a little bit?
Yeah, and you pull up the weights.
Oh, yeah.
But you actually have to be taught how to do that if you don't do it right. It can fuck you up.
Right. I got a training session a couple times. I saw a trainer, and he kept trying to show me how to do that. Where you hinge at the waist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think with exercise stuff, it's I just keep waiting for some diet or something to come out that I actually want to do. Because I read a lot of diet blogs or exercise blogs.
It's mostly about, we've been through this before. It's mostly about talking to a nutritionist and eating regular food for your body at just the right hours.
Right.
Proportioning your meats, your protein to your fats to your carbs.
I had 2 times. Did I tell you guys about the first time when I got to LA and then I threw up from the soup?
What was the soup?
So this past time I land in LA, I go to a meeting and I have all my stuff. The meeting's good, and then I go and I get some vegan Thai soup, and then afterwards I'm taking a Uber to my Airbnb, and it's through this windy canyon area, and all of a sudden I was I'm gonna get sick, and then I got sick, I threw up but I didn't want to get any throw up in the Uber, so I threw up in my mouth.
Oh my god.
And then I didn't know what to do, and the guy's talking to me, and I couldn't talk because I would have, and we were on a 3-lane highway. Or 4-lane highway. So then finally, we stop at some point, and then it slows down enough so that I open the door and I spit it out. And he's like, and I was like, I didn't get any on the car. And then he's like, are you okay? And then we pulled over, and I got sick, and I threw up all the soup. And then I was in the back talking to the art therapist, being super dramatic, being like, whoa, it's me. God. I'm not gonna blah blah blah. So that was the first time I got to LA. Then 2 nights ago in LA, I was super hungry, and I went to a party, and I thought there'd be snacks. There were no snacks. So I'm I'm hungry. And I had taken my pill, my medicine, my Wellbutrin right before, and I was I gotta get some food because I didn't eat anything. I don't feel good. I had a show, and I had some industry people coming with me to the show. So I was I gotta get some food. And people were okay, haha. But I was I need a snack. And they're all right. But I was I need a snack. We get to the place, I order food, it's not going on for a while, and then I go into the bathroom and I like got sick, and then I like threw up for a while, and then I had to go on stage, did the show, and then afterwards I like was eating and I was like, oh, I think it's a bug. Because my body temperature was changing a bunch, and I like, have you ever talked to someone when you're about to throw up?
Yes.
I finished the conversation, and then I was like, I think my Uber's here, and then I went outside and called the Uber, and then just ran into the Uber, and then right when we peeled away, I got sick in the Uber.
You threw up in the Uber?
But I had brought a bag with me because I knew I was going to do it. And then the guy was like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm sober. This isn't from drinking. I'm ill. I was like, well, just once we can pull over, I'll take care of it.
Oh my God. Emma, did you go to the doctor?
No, I think both times it was because I think one was the soup, but then the other time I think...
I feel like a lot of vegan foods get people sick.
I'm not usually, I guess I have like a sensitive stomach, but I feel like I'm like a kid. Like I'm like puking, you know what I mean?
In the back of an Uber.
In the back.
I love that your first response to him was like, I'm not drinking.
Yeah, I know. I'm sober.
I'm sober. And he's probably like, I don't care. You're throwing up in my Uber.
Right. Because that one was late at night.
That smells. When it smells, it sticks.
And I put it in the bag, then I closed it. I know, I bet my Uber rating now is like -70.
Well, I mean, at least they were nice and asked how you were doing.
Yeah, he was like...
You should have, like, stomach medicine with you. Also, I feel like like, when you travel, actually, one of the best things to do is just go to places that you know are, like, going to be, like, go to Chipotle.
Oh, yep.
Even though they have, like, E. coli. But you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, even McDonald's, I never eat at McDonald's, but it's like, my stomach is used to this.
Right, you know what you're going to get. I'll go to Qdoba, and then...
they still have Qdoba?
They have good Qdobas. And then, what the hell? Oh, California Pizza Kitchen.
I
love California Pizza Kitchen.
What do you love about that restaurant?
Oh, I love all the variety, and they have new appetizers all the time. But the last time I was there, I was at the one in Long Beach. The server was openly talking about how he thought Brett Kavanaugh had a bad rap. And I couldn't believe, or how he was getting a bad rap, and I couldn't believe it. He was like, yeah, if you ask me, like, people are just out to get the guy.
I want to know what the appetizers are. I don't care what you think of Brett Kavanaugh at the California Pizza Kitchen.
The California Pizza Kitchen.
This should be the last place where Brett Kavanaugh should be brought up.
Talk about, now he's abusing his platform, because I was like...
The California Pizza Kitchen guy?
He was the guy.
I wouldn't call him a platform.
He wasn't a server, he was like...
A host?
Yeah, he was helping like bring out food. He was like helping with some of the food prep, and then he was bringing out some.
Can I tell you? I went into Evan Williams and I did a show in Jersey the other day, and he'd never been to the Cheesecake Factory.
What?
So we saw one on the way, so we went in.
Why had he never been before?
He's just never been to one. So I was like, well, we gotta go.
That means either you're like really classy or like really unclassy.
I'm gonna go with the unclassy.
Okay.
I mean, but we went inside. First of all, the Cheesecake Factory on a Friday night is literally like brought to you by the TSA.
Totally.
I mean, first of all, it's crowded. Everyone has an ailment. The host won't look at you in the eye, and whatever you get will cause suffering later.
You think so?
And absolutely. So you walk in, and it's just so stressful, right? So
there was tons of people in there, right?
You couldn't move. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. It was a TSA. It was like they were like, I thought there was gonna be like a scanner to go through.
Right.
The host, I walked up to her like, "Hi," for two. She didn't even look up. She just looking down. She goes, "Okay, table. They need to." Gives the girl the menus and then just moved us along. I was like, God, this place is just... And everyone had broken foot, lost eye, wheelchair, hover rounds, hospice. I mean, everybody is in... There's an ailment with someone.
It might have been the location. Because the one in Boston, I don't know if it's like that. It's packed.
Once you go... I'm telling you, if you go to Cheesecake Factory, you go inside, everyone has... There's some broken something on everyone.
Huh. Did he like the food?
Yeah, we got... Well, so I got a slice of cheesecake.
Nice.
1,300 calories.
Woo!
For a slice.
That doesn't surprise me at all, though.
For a slice?
Here's the thing with the desserts, it's like, don't tell us.
Well, he got shepherd's pie. That was, I think, 2,000 calories.
So the shepherd's pie is more than the cheesecake.
Yes, but it's weird that one slice of cheesecake is almost as much as a shepherd's pie.
I feel like...
What are they doing to these cheesecakes?
They're just making them delicious.
They are delicious.
They're so good. And their salads are huge.
Oh, mountains. Mountains. People are climbing it.
Yep. I brought many, like, a date to the Cheesecake Factory.
It's a date place to go to, but I mean, it's got good lighting, I'll say that.
Not in New York. I feel like lesbians in New York, that'd be a tough sell.
I don't really want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. I prefer to go to, I don't like factories.
Yeah.
Although I am union.
They in Boston or other places, like, girls are cooler with that. In New York, fucking...
Should we do an episode and go to the Cheesecake Factory?
I love the Cheesecake Factory.
And record a live episode? Let us know if you want us to do that, because if you do, next week we should go to the Cheesecake Factory.
I love to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
Maybe, are you here Friday?
I consider the Cheesecake Factory fine dining.
Are you in New York Friday?
Nope.
Because I leave for 2 weeks to go to Italy. Saturday.
No, I will be in Springfield, Missouri this Friday and Saturday at the Blue Note Comedy Room, Springfield, Missouri. Do you know where that is?
I have kind of an idea.
Yeah, I'm going in.
I'm going to Winnipeg, Canada, to do a club.
That's fun. Where in Canada is that?
It's like north of Minnesota, I think. Or north of Wisconsin.
I didn't even know Canada was up that way.
Come on. Where did you think it was?
Well,
You're like that Simpsons joke where Marge is like, it took the kids 40 minutes to locate Canada on the map.
Yeah, because...
Marge, anyone can miss Canada, tucked away down there.
One of the most beautiful places is Halifax, Canada.
Bless you.
Halifax, Toronto.
Excuse you.
Is Winnipeg near those?
What's a Halifax?
Halifax is this tiny city in Canada. It's beautiful. It's so pretty.
Halifax.
It's
not a medicine.
No, it's called Halifax. It's so nice.
Well, I just messaged my agent. I was like, are there any gays in Winnipeg? Like, who am I performing for?
I bet there will be.
You think so?
They gotta be. Canada's like friendly.
Well, Canada's the best. I just like, I don't know where.
There might be more gay people there than Springfield, Missouri.
I'm going to go with a solid yes.
Although Kansas is liberal. Kansas City is liberal.
In Missouri.
Kansas City, Kansas, because I'm flying in there to do a college, and that's liberal. The most conservative, because when I got in the first time I was there, I was like, shit. I went to the Cheesecake Factory there. I remember going in. But then I went to Topeka, Kansas. That's it's petrifying. It's very conservative. Like social, like billboards of abortions, like that type thing.
Do I look depressed right now?
No.
I don't.
You just look tired.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't even look too super tired.
I'm tired. I took 2 Benadryl.
We should...
Last night.
Oh, good for you. This is before the article came out.
Yeah, I woke up to a nightmare.
Let's, so we just promote, that's where I'm at this upcoming weekend is Springfield, Missouri. Are you anywhere this week?
I'll be doing shows in Italy, in Milan, Florence, and Rome. So if you live in Italy and listen to the podcast... Come on down.
You're going to do shows there?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun.
I'm doing my first Italian tour.
Holy shit, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a very much needed vacation.
That's going to be... Is this the first time you're going on vacation and also working?
Yeah, and Kike's coming, and we're going to have like a nice vacation together.
That's great.
I can't wait.
Awesome. All right, well, so you guys, if you're abroad, check Matteo out, and if you're anything but abroad, check me out in Missouri.
I'm glad we did this.
Me too.
I feel better.
Thank you, guys.
Also, real quick, my Wikipedia page says I was born in 1982.
I know how to fix your Wikipedia page.
Well, someone fixed it for me. Thank God.
I have a friend who's like a genius at that stuff.
I didn't know what I was doing.
He made mine.
Can he change my profile picture?
I'll ask him. And he changed my profile picture.
Tell them to change my picture.
I was like, I tried finding a service to do it, and they were like, it's hard to find someone, and then this buddy of mine knows how to do it.
They got some of the information about me, right?
Because in order for them to put stuff up, they should have to cite everything. So if they said you were born when?
1982. I was like, it's 1986. I'm not 36.
That's weird.
But they fixed it. Then someone wrote 1776. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, that's
I
cute.
prefer that.
Right.
Over 1986. But.
So this is the end. Thank you guys.